Good morning. I can see lots of you logging in now, which is really exciting. Steff and I are excited to come and share with you what we are really passionate about this morning. So we were very privileged to have been asked to deliver some short training on this topic because it's one that we both love. I'm a little bit dark, so I'm just trying to make myself so that you can see us. Okay, I can see lots of people coming on now. That's amazing. So we're going to start off by taking you through some training that we put together for you, but we will have an opportunity at the end to, hopefully we'll have some time to go through and answer some of your questions. So there is a chat box. You're more than welcome to type in some questions. And as I said, we can go through at the end and hopefully give a few more hints and tips. I'll introduce myself very, very quickly. And then I'll pass over to Steff, who will do the same. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Massie, and I have been working very proudly alongside Forever Living for 6.5 years now. I have an education background and I work my business around 3 children. Very quickly I spotted the potential for me to have both an exciting career and to be a full-time mum, and that's exactly what this has delivered with some consistent hard work over the last 6.5 years. And I'm going to talk to you through, actually it is my favourite topic, recruitment and the power of duplication and why we want you to be as excited about duplication as we are. Steff, tell them about you.
Hi everybody, so my name is Steff Mercer. I joined the business almost 2 years to the date actually, and my background was in education. I was an assistant head teacher and I was desperately looking for more time. My partner and I wanted to start a family, and basically we were looking for alternatives. Fell across the opportunity of Forever working alongside Claire, and literally it has changed our life. So from joining the business 2 years ago to going on maternity leave with my little girl who's now 1, I was able to replace and exceed my salary, so I didn't return back to work. And what's really exciting now is that my partner has also come and joined the business with me. So things have been amazing, and I know it's so cliche to say that something has changed your life, but genuinely this company has completely changed our life. So yeah,
amazing.
It's been really exciting.
It has, and what an exciting time we're in at the moment. Right, Steff, let's share these slides and see if we can get
brilliant. If you can just let me know, Claire, if you can see them, that would be great, please. So I'm hoping that everyone can now see.
That's it. There we go, we're in. Amazing. So we've been given the challenge, if you like, of talking to you about the power of recruitment and duplication. So this isn't necessarily going to be a recruitment training. We do really want to give you, we'll kind of brush over that topic if you like, but I think that's a topic, or how to recruit is a topic in itself. But we want to show you how important or how powerful introducing new people into your business consistently can be, and how that influences the speed at which you grow, the growth that you'll see in your business and the progression you'll make. So when we were first asked though, Steff, if you want to click onto the next slide, I know that both of us felt, like, are we qualified to talk about this topic? You know, we both do love the recruitment side of the business, so it's a real privilege to be sharing this training with Steff. And then I thought, do you know what, I'm going to just have a look at our numbers. Let's have a look and see what we have been doing. And actually, both of us have recruited quite heavily in the last couple of months. As well, what's important is it's great to be able to bring those new people in, but the name of the game, isn't it? The name of the game is it's a copycat business, and we want to see that duplication. We want to be showing other people how to do exactly what we are and how to progress and to duplicate themselves if that's within their goals. So I recruited 15 people across April and May, and 2 team members have achieved the position of supervisor, which is really, really exciting. And I love it because when you start to see people seeing success, for me, that's what this is all about. You know, we are paid for helping other people to be successful. I also caught on really, really quickly to this business. I remember starting my business when I did 6.5 years ago, feeling like I had no time. I had an 8-week-old baby at the time. Now I know now I have my 3 children who are 6, 4 and 2. I now know I don't have any time. But what that's shown me over the last 6.5 years is the ability to multiply your time. And we're going to talk to you about this a little bit further down the presentation. But that's the key, because the time that I've had to put into my business hasn't increased over the last 6.5 years to allow my income to grow. I feel like I've just been quite smart with the time that I do have around 3 children. Homeschooling was definitely not in the game plan, I can assure you. But I think it is the ability to bring new people into your business and help them to duplicate. So I know, Steff, as well, you've had some great results over the last couple of months too.
Yeah, really great. And, similar to Claire in terms of, recruitment and building that team. And I think what Claire says there about that duplication is really key. And it is that idea, it never kind of ceases to amaze me. Exactly really what Claire said there about the fact that actually my time hasn't changed. I'm still actually working the business the same that I was, but it's just about showing other people how to do the same. And I think what's been really amazing for me, particularly in the last few months, is seeing my team develop and seeing how their lives have changed because of the business as well, which is just an incredible thing to be a part of. So yeah. Shall I flick over
Let's
to
do it.
the next slide? Get started.
So I will just kind of just explain to people, if there was to be any kind of technical issues or difficulties, please don't worry too much. We're not expecting this to happen, but if it does, just go back to the link and log in again, and it should allow us back in and to continue. But hopefully we'll have you now for the next kind of 20-30 minutes with questions included to just talk to you a little bit about why recruitment. I think this is your bit, Steff.
It is, yeah. And like Claire said there, if you've got any questions, please pop them in the chat box, and we'll try, and if we've got some time again, we'll try and answer them, or most of them. So really, as Claire was saying before, why should you recruit? What's kind of the relevance of it? Now, I know myself that I would say I have, a secure retail business, and that is great, and it does generate me a really good kind of income. However, with that power of duplication, I'm able to expand the customers that I have. So from having a very small customer group, I can actually duplicate that with the people within my team, with their customers too. So kind of breaking it down to a bit more finite detail then, every time you recruit somebody, you get 2 case credits, which has gone up quite massively. It's almost doubled since from when I first started with the business. That's a really generous thing that Forever have given us there to enable us to more efficiently move up the marketing plan. Like I said, and like Claire was saying, you can multiply your time. So if you imagine, if you're putting in 2 hours a day, but you have 4 people who are putting in 2 hours a day as well, all of a sudden you're doing a 10-hour day. And you can see there how that duplication works. And actually, if you're doing 1 case credit in that day and everyone else is doing a case credit, it just multiplies and multiplies. Progressing through the marketing plan, I personally found, and I think Claire would agree with this, that to get to the first position on the marketing plan as supervisor, you can do independently on retail alone. It's challenging, but you can do it. However, I would say when you're moving up the rest of the marketing plan to kind of assistant manager, you need that team. You need somebody to support you with those CCs, and that's really helpful. And actually, it's so lovely to be a part of something and to have other people working alongside you. That second income stream, so like I was saying at the start there, obviously I do feel like I have a really good retail base. It's not massive, it's not huge, it's not hundreds of customers, but it is secure and they're loyal, regular customers. However, the fact that I was able to unlock a secondary income and see actually my team leading bonus come through was substantial and really kind of amazed me and continues to amaze both Tom and I, my partner, at how that kind of develops and how that increases. I know that Claire and I always say, and to be fair, I've nicked this saying off Claire, it's rude not to share. And I cannot tell you how passionately I believe this. When I first started, I didn't have a success story. The only success story that I had was Claire's. I didn't have my own because I just started, and that'll be like a lot of people. Now I do have my own success story. I've been able to leave my job. I've been able to replace my salary. My partner is now doing the same. That has absolutely changed my life. And I feel so passionate to share that with people that I absolutely believe that saying. It is rude not to share. And actually, it's not for me to judge who to share it with. If somebody had looked at me before this business, they wouldn't have approached me. but actually I was desperately looking for something else. So it's about actually just going out there and sharing it with anyone and everyone. And leading from the front, I mean, I love being a part of the team. I love being a part of Claire's team, and the fact that, you know, you are working for yourself, but you're not by yourself. And the fact that you have that leading of a team is really exciting, and it's really great to be a part of something where you are actually genuinely changing people's lives and how they live their lives. So yeah, I think, why recruit? Sit back and watch this, because this is really exciting what Claire's about to show you.
Steff's already talked about, you know, the fact, and we're going to talk about a bit of a volume map in a minute, and actually how recruiting can influence the number of case credits that you have moving through your business. But she's already mentioned, you know, the position of supervisor. It's our first position on the marketing plan, and it's a really, really important one to get to. You know, when we all start our business, or wherever we are in your business, or however long you've been in the business, reaching this position, I always feel like it's a bit of an apprenticeship. You know, we're learning what to do, we're making sure we're absorbing lots of training. For the majority, this is something completely new, and I have to say, for me, completely out of my comfort zone. But when I started to get my head around the fact that actually this is simply about a lot of people doing a little bit, that's it. I'm not going to need hundreds of more hours per day to be able to earn more money, which is like, we're imagining kind of traditional employment, or even in traditional business, that the more hours you work, the more money you're paid. That's not what happens here. So we're talking, and it says there in your First Steps to Manager book, in the example, it says you do 4 case credits, and for example, show 3 others how to do the same. So you can develop a very heavy retail business and get yourself to supervisor, but I personally don't think that's the smartest move. I think that it is much more time effective for you to be looking after your handful of 20 regular customers and showing other people how to do that, because actually that's duplicatable. We want to be able to be showing other people actually how simple this business is, and that it isn't. I know for one, I worried about the retail side of the business. I wish I hadn't spent so much time worrying about that. But you add recruitment into the mix. I personally don't like the word recruitment. I don't like sales and recruitment, and here I am in a business. But we recommend a product, and we share the potential of a business opportunity, and we introduce people into our team and help them to be successful. That sounds much nicer, right? That's what I think, and that's what I pride myself on, the fact that I do. So there's only you on this example and 3 other people doing 4 case credits over 2 months next to each other, and you've made supervisor. You've now added that extra stream of income into your business. As long as you keep doing your 4 case credits, forever are going to pay you the 3% on the assistant supervisors in your team. That's your team leading bonus that will be paid to you on the 15th of every month. How exciting is that? Now you're earning an extra £300 to £500 a month on top of what you're already doing. So you are, as Steff said, you will have a set amount of hours that you have decided, or that you have available to work your business, and the individuals within your team will have their own individual goals and their own individual, you know, time allowances, if you like, to build their business. Everybody is so different, and it doesn't always work out that everyone will do their 4 case credits exactly. You know, some will do 2, some will do 6, some will do 10. You know, everyone will do their different thing. But do you know what? It gets a little bit more exciting as well. If we click to the next slide, Steff, that a lot of people, I know, when you look at the marketing plan, I know I did. I saw the position of manager and felt it was out of reach for me. It felt like such a mountain to climb. But what I love, and what they've done in the First Steps to Manager book, is broken it down. They've broken it right down. If you look at the 5-month plan, at the bottom there in that small print, it actually says there's only 13 people doing 4 case credits in the first, you know, month 1 of your manager qualification, and 18 people doing it in month 2 of the 2 months to manager plan. That isn't even 13 or 18 people that you have found personally. That's the power of duplication, though, because you're going to have some people in your business who want to duplicate too, who have goals to earn more than that couple of £100 a month retail profit. We're going to show them to do exactly what we're doing, and it's this is achievable. This happens when you make a decision to be consistent with recruitment activity. So recruitment really is key to duplication, which is why the topic is what it is for this webinar today. But check out the 6-month plan, and the 6-month plan, if you use the 4-month to manager, if you like, the 150 case credits over 4 months, 11 people doing 4 case credits. I just think that deserves a pause because I think it is really, really powerful to when you realise that, as you know, as we do know, that is just, you know, you might only have 6 people doing their 4 case credits, but 4 case credits and above, some of those might do 6, 8, 10. And in fact, my top tip to anybody who wants to progress through the marketing plan is do more than your 4 case credits. And we're going to talk to you about some of the incentives that are on offer to encourage you to add recruitment into your volume map and into the mix, because your case credits can be heavily influenced. You get 2 case credits every time you introduce somebody into your business for each assistant supervisor. If you get yourself into the habit of recruiting 2 people per month, that's 4. You can have some personal use, let's say that's 5, 2, 3, 4 retail, you're away. And you're actually heavily influencing this progression through the marketing plan. And as Steff alluded to earlier, you're leading from the front. You're showing people that you can recruit, that there's people out there looking for a business opportunity, that, you know, people will come and have a look at Forever. And if you can do it, then so can they. So I think that, you know, if you have made the decision to be passionate and excited to be sharing this business opportunity with people, you've made the commitment to yourself to be consistent with that activity. That really is the key. It's not about doing it for a week or 2 and then wondering where the results are. This literally is an ongoing process. You will have people coming through into your business who will be generating case credits for their own goals, but that will contribute towards your progression through the marketing plan, enabling you to see that duplication and to multiply your time. It's really, really exciting. So please don't look at manager and think, oh my goodness, it's far away. It's just having the number of people in your business doing their case credits, doing their 4 case credits, if we use that as an average, that will give you the volume that will allow you to progress and see your income rise for the same amount of time investment. How exciting. Steff, over to you, I believe.
Yeah, and I think, you know, what Claire's just said there is really kind of imperative about, you know, duplicating yourself and actually having the belief that you can do it. And I achieved supervisor last year, so around October time, but actually had a bit of a dip. I took my foot off the gas, and I think December I finished on about 5.5 or 6 case credits. So in terms of where I was going, you can imagine that I was thinking I can't even do 4 case credits, let alone hit manager. In April, I hit manager and I finished on 115 case credits in April. And I don't say that to impress you, but just to kind of say, actually, it's 100% doable. And what people say to you all the time about get your head down and just do the do. Honestly, I did not look up. I kept my head down and just thought, I am marrying the process on this one. I know it's so cliche. I know we hear it all the time, but it's so true. And these are some of the ways that Claire and I and our teams have gone about recruiting or developing our team, so growing our teams. So the idea is that you want to pick 3 consistent methods, and when I say consistent, it needs to be every day. So for example, if you have a product page or a customer page, whatever you want to call it, and you say, I'm going to have a page, commit to posting in it once a day, you know, whatever it is you're doing, however little it is, you need to be consistent with it. So some of the methods that we use here are who do you know list. So actually looking at genuinely who do you know, print off your list of Facebook friends, I spoke to one of my team the other day, I don't know if she's online now, but she'll laugh if she hears it. And I said to her, have you checked your phone book? She's like, oh, I've missed that. You've got to gather all that, haven't you? Because you will have some people that aren't on Facebook, and you'll have some people that you think, actually, I don't have your number, I don't have you on Facebook, but I know you because I always see you in the hairdressers, or you always give me great service in the co-op, I need to speak to you. It's all these people that you know that you can approach. Now, alongside that, you have follow-ups, and this is so key to everything that Claire and I do, is following people up. So speak to people in the first instance, follow them up in 3 days' time. If they then don't come back to you, follow them up in a few months, or if it's just not the right time for them, follow them up in a few months or a year's time, because people's circumstances change. So it's really important to keep that going. And I think also to keep the relationship going with people, because people often join because of you. So they want to actually get to know you better. So it's really important to build that relationship and genuinely build it, genuinely want to know who these people are you're speaking to. Product events are great. And of course, at the moment, this is I don't want to say difficult, because actually in a way I think it's in some parts easier, because you're not having to drive out, pack up the car for half an hour, drive half an hour somewhere, unpack for half an hour there, then do the event, then pack it all up. You can see how this becomes a massive time commitment. At the moment we do them all online. It's great. It's a fantastic opportunity for people, because actually loads of people are stuck in the house, they want things to do. It's a great time to actually get out there and meet people. And whilst those product events are about the products, people are nosy, they want to hear what you're doing, so they want to hear how you've got into it too. So it's a great opportunity to talk about the business. Experience packs, we can still get those out to people. I've been doing lots of posted experience packs at the moment, which has been really good to actually get the products into people's hands. The mini gels are great to give to people so they can actually experience those too on the little mini cases that you can get. Leaflets and flyers, I know that this is, I think, coming back in now after COVID. Obviously it's been quite tight on that, people not wanting to do that. And some of these things as well, I would say, kind of take with the situation that we've got, but some of these things you might focus more heavily on at the moment, or you might adapt because of the kind of national situation that we're in, or international situation, should I say. Dear neighbour letters, I remember Adam May saying, do all your neighbours know what you do? And the answer to that, and this has been my partner's biggest thing with kind of joining the business with me, Steff, they don't know what we do. We've almost kept it this secret. It's like the best kept secret. This is ridiculous. They need to know what we do. So that's a key thing, to make sure you're talking to people. And actually, one of the things that I've practiced even now is actually telling people what I do. So having almost a bit of a practice session with Tom and going, so what is it that you do then, Steff? Oh, right. So and going into that and being able to talk about that. Referrals. So if you've got a customer, it's not all about and this goes hand in hand with the one below about customers. It's not about turning all your customers into business owners, or it's not about that, but it's about, if you've got a customer who loves the products, they can see the value in the products. Is it worthwhile either approaching them about the business or asking them if they know somebody who might be interested in the business? And if somebody comes to you and says, oh, thanks, Steff, I've actually just started a new job, or I'm really filled to capacity at the moment, not a problem at all. Do you know anyone who might be looking to earn an extra £200 to £2,000 per month, really flexibly around their current commitments? It's a really fair thing to ask. And actually, you might even find that when you say that, you get people going, so what is it that you do again? I always have people who say to me, oh, I'm really sorry, it's not for me, but they're desperate to know what it is that I'm doing. So it's a really good opportunity to talk to them. What are you doing? What am I doing? Keep that relationship building. And then again, like I said right at the start, with product pages or customer groups, however you want to call them, speak to people in there. I've actually had a couple of team come from a result of my product page. And I think it's because they can see that, for one, it's genuine, the products actually are incredible, and most importantly, it's fun. We have fun, and that's just, I think, the best part of this business. Now, Claire said to you before, sometimes you have to persevere and keep going. And I want to show you this kind of analogy. I've always used you have to have a third of a third of a third. So what I mean by that is, if you want to get a product event booked in, or if you want to get experience packs booked out, or if you want to recruit somebody or get someone to join your team, use that method of a third of a third of a third. So for example, if I speak to 90 people, so if I contact 90 people, send out 90 voice notes, for example, I will expect that 30 of those, a third, will come back to me and say something. A third of those, i.e. 10, I will probably take around the business cycle. A third of those will probably be interested and or sign, but definitely a third of that will sign. Now, that seems like quite structured odds there, but I just know that actually people generally come through more than that. So if I speak to those 90, more people are going to drop through. And it is, I don't want to say it's a numbers game because that makes it sound so kind of regimented, but actually you need to have some expectation management with it, and you need to kind of think, well, actually, you know, it's all well and good sitting there saying, I want to recruit 5 people a month. Okay, well, how many people are you going to speak to about that? You know, you've got to be realistic about, if you want to recruit 2 people this month and you're speaking to 20 people, I can tell you now that will probably not be enough. And if it is, great for you, fantastic, but I don't think that's a sustainable number to say I'll speak to 20 people and 2 people will recruit every month. You need to kind of generate those conversations with people, because also we often find there's a lead time. So if you speak to somebody, there might very well be a 6-week turnaround. It's not very often that you speak to somebody. It does happen, but it's not very often that you'll speak to somebody and they'll go, yeah, I'm in, I'll sign right now. There is a lead time with it. People want to gather their information. They want to speak to their partner. They want to come back and ask you a question. They want to go back away and tell their partner that. I looked the other day, like I was saying to some of you at the start, I think it's tomorrow is my 2-year anniversary, my alloversary as we call it. And I looked back at the messages that Claire and I had right at the start, so 2 years ago now. And I would say that actually I joined quite quickly, but that lead time, it was a couple of weeks. I remember Claire had sent me the form. I can't even imagine this, Claire, as an FBO now looking back. Claire had sent me the form. I told her I was doing it. I'd then gone for a walk in Bickerton Hills. I'd sprained my ankle, ended up in A&E, and I didn't do it. And I don't think I messaged her back for like a day, 2 days. She must have been demented. I'd be like, my God, what's wrong with you? You changed your mind, you don't want to do it. I eventually came back to her and said, oh, I am going to do it, Claire. I will do it. Yeah. And Tom was saying to me the day, why didn't you just do it? There was no reason. I had every intention of doing it. I just had other stuff going on. It's not personal. So it's just worthwhile kind of keeping that in mind. Really get the numbers in. Speak to as many people as possible. And my biggest tip to anybody in this business, whether it's for retail or introducing people to the business, speak to everyone about the business. That doesn't mean that you're trying to sell them something. It doesn't mean that you're trying to pitch them something, but tell them about it, because actually it's interesting. You're doing something that's probably quite different to what a lot of people know as the norm, and they're interested. So talk to them about it. I'll hand over to you, Claire, for your monthly tracker.
Yeah, we can tell that Steff's passionate about recruitment, can't we? How do you think about that? You know, I think it's really important for us as individual FBOs to understand everything Steff's just said. But the key to seeing more duplication is to help your team understand that too. Understand that this is a numbers game. We do have to speak to enough people to find the ones that this business is right for, that are ready to start with. And it's very easy to I know when I'm speaking to a new team or people that have been in the business a long time that want to recruit, it's that consistent activity over a long period of time. It's not about doing this for a week or two and wanting, some results will come quick, some won't. You know, I've just introduced somebody into my business last month who I've been connected with and communicating with about this business for 6 years. Now's the right time. It's really interesting. So none of what you do is a wasted activity. As Steff said earlier, we're just marrying the process. So we all know that we need to be having an idea, I suppose, of where our volume of case credits are going to come from each month. And we need to be really mindful and hot on tracking our own activity. So for me, my activity is really, really important. It's important because it's what I can control. So I know that each month I need to be using the products, of course. I need to be doing some product evenings to gain some customers, and we want some nice repeat regular customers, as you can see on there. Allo bars, experience packs. Okay, some of this isn't possible right now. This is just an example volume map that we are able to show you as things progress, I'm sure. And I just think, you know what, if we can build a business in this time, we can build a business anytime. How incredible has it been? The excitement is real, isn't it, at the moment? We need to be volume mapping our own activity. And as I said, I'm not going to give you a training on each of these because there's been lots of webinars that have covered different certainly retail activities, but what I do just want to draw your attention to is that when I plan my activity, that's my job description. I know that I am filling the time that I have to build my business with income producing activities, and I then know the amount of case credits. That's a typo that you can see there where it says sponsoring new assistant supervisors to case credits is when you sponsor one, and it's supposed to be 4 case credits, not 4.7. So just so you know. But what I do want to show you there is actually how much those recruitment case credits influence your volume map. You would get 2 whole case credits. I can't get over it. 2 whole case credits and a recruitment bonus when we introduce somebody into our team. So if you recruit 1 person a month, that's 2 case credits. If you recruit 2 people a month, that's 4 case credits. 3 people a month, that's 6 case credits. That's really, really going to influence your progression. If you look at that in your journey to supervisor, if you're able to do 6 to 8, which I always say to people in my head is key, 6 to 8 case credits each month on your journey to supervisor, let's say you do 7 in each month, that's 14 of the 25 done. It's really, really powerful. And so that's why we're kind of helping you to I suppose be excited about the thought of recruitment, of sharing the business opportunity and helping other people to be successful, and being excited about your volume map, knowing that you're committed to that activity to bring those new people in, and then having the ability to share that with other people, to share that with your brand new team member that's come in and show them actually just how duplicatable this is, that you're not going to need hundreds of hours a week to build your business if you're doing it right. You know, if we are sharing this business with other people and helping them to get out of it, that their progression through that marketing plan is likely to be a little bit quicker. So if you can click to the next slide, Steff, that's us focusing then on our own individual activity. But this, I suppose, just spells out then what that looks like. So you've got your own activity bottom right. That's what you're going to do. That's what you're committed to doing. The example there is anything between 7 and 17 case credits. Normally pick a middle value there. You've got your activity that you've planned on there, your retail activity. I will always say to my team, please detail your recruitment activity and what that looks like. Steff's just gone through some of that with you. And then look, we've now got team activity. So we're going to be in communication with the people that we work with. We're going to be helping them to volume map and plan their own business, looking at their own individual activity. And we can then start to predict the number of case credits that's going to be moving through our team's business as well. And this is where you're allowed to be excited, because we've got you in the middle there. We know that you're going to be doing, let's say you do 7 case credits. Team member number 1 may have planned to do 4. Team member number 2 may have planned to do 2. Team member number 3 may have planned to do 7 like you. It's really exciting, isn't it? And I love doing these little diagrams with the circles coming off, and you'll then have your team members that will start introducing their own team members as well, because we've helped that first team member understand the power of recruitment and how to share the process and understand the lead time, understand the numbers, understand that this isn't going to be for everyone and that there is an element of rejection here and you may need to grow a bit of a thick skin. Understand that the work we do right now for recruitment will sometimes pay off. You know, if I'd have talked about Kat, the lady that I introduced to my business last month after 6 years of communication, what if I'd have stopped and felt disheartened that no one's joining my team 6 years ago? Oh, it makes me shudder to think. So it just is, and Steff's so true. My team always hear me say, just marry the process and divorce the outcome. We know that as long as we're fulfilling a job description, then the results will come. We've then got the ability to have people joining our team and to be able to share our experience with recruitment with those people and help them to understand and marry the process as well, and follow and have the ability to progress through the marketing plan, which is really exciting.
Are you happy for me to move on to the next bit, Claire?
Yeah, let's go.
Perfect. Okay, so I hope this will move on. There we go. I remember when I first looked at some of the incentives with Forever, and of course you see the ones when you first start, don't you, that are, you know, the chairman's bonus, the Forever to Drive, the level 50, 75 and 100 club, the kind of big amounts. And actually, a bit like manager position, they can seem quite far away when you first start out. And that is the reason why Forever have introduced or have all these amazing incentives, which almost allow you to build up to these bigger ones, which is just incredible. So the team building incentive is one of these, and this is similar to the 4cc incentives. The idea where you do 4cc every month or more, and you get level 1, 2, and 3. And the team building incentive is like this. I cannot tell you, if you chase, for want of a better term, this incentive, your business will grow. And genuinely, it's insane what happens when actually you do follow this. Like, really, really is. So the team building incentive is the idea that if you sponsor 6 people in 3 months, you will achieve level 1. So that could mean that you sponsor 6 people all in 1 month and you achieve level 1 all in 1 month, but they're giving you 3 months to do it in. You then have up to 6 months to sponsor 12 people, and you have up to 12 months, a year, to sponsor 24 people. So you can see there that it's encouraging you to sponsor 2 people per month. Honestly, if you get to that point, this is my opinion now, where you get to level 3, you're becoming a manager. You're getting to that point now where actually you're generating a team of people. Some will be more active than others, like Claire said. I remember Emma Cooper doing an amazing training. I think it was at the last Success Day, where she broke down, you know, the percentages of your team and saying, actually, you'll have about 5%, 10%, and 85%. I had to make sure I did my maths right there. And you'll find that actually that 85% of people, so the majority of your team, whether it's 100 people, 10 people, or 5 people, will probably be doing one or so, well, probably between 0 and 2 case credits. And actually, that's fine. You need those people in there who are going to continue to tick over their business. And I have people in my team, and Claire does too, who might do 1 or 2 case credits. That is not insignificant. Those people doing that every month is incredible. You can see here how this builds up. And I remember as well at the when I first looked at this, probably the adult in me was going, well, what's so special about getting a pin and a certificate, or a sash, or a suitcase? Oh my goodness, did I not realise? It is so exciting to get a pin. I've literally released my inner child with this business, and I'm so excited to get a sticker or a pin badge or a certificate or anything like that. Because actually, yes, it's lovely to have that recognition, and that is amazing, but it shows that my business is growing, and it really, really is. I've been shocked at when you chase these incentives, how much your business does grow. So I'm going to pass over to Claire for our final slide, and then I think some people have popped some questions in as well, Claire, if that's all right.
Yeah, amazing. Do you know what as well? I remember having a similar thought process, Steph, and with the incentives like that, the 4cc incentive and the team building incentive, your income grows. It doesn't say that on there, but that's what happens as a result of chasing these incentives and having them really clearly on your goal board. When do you want to achieve level 1? When do you want to achieve level 2? Go for it. I remember I had in the notes on my phone the number of people that I was bringing into my business and how many I needed to go to get the next one. I was really, I was focused on that goal. I had a reason to achieve it, because it was going to grow my income and enable me not to return to work. So my advice with recruitment, so that you can see duplication, is to have a recruitment goal. Have a specific, why do you need to recruit? Why is it really, really important? We can see the word why right in the middle there. We've got to have a reason. I know we've all got reasons to build this business, but I love having, setting myself a recruitment goal. Why is it important to me to speak to that number of people, to recruit that number of people each month? Mm-hmm. I love this paragraph on page 15 of the First Steps to Manager book. I know what page it is because we talk about it all the time in planning meetings that I have with new team, because this is where you're able to pass on your experience and help that person to understand the process, the simple business cycle, but also why it's important to implement it the way we do. So I'm going to read it. It says, speed is of the essence and recruiting is essential. Your business will grow in direct proportion to the speed at which you implement this cycle. To achieve your goal, it's vital that over the first 12 months, you create momentum by sharing the opportunity with as many people as possible. This will create the energy, excitement, and success you desire. I wonder if anyone's actually gone to that page in their First Steps to Manager book and read that paragraph. It gives me goosebumps. I don't know whether that's slightly odd or not. I don't know. But all we're asking everyone to do, all we need to do as forever business owners, is ask people if they're open to having a look at the business opportunity. we then need to be expanding our network. And I know there's some questions actually in the chat about that, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. And deciding then how many people are you going to speak to about the business, helping your new team member understand that statistic as well. If they want to recruit more people, they need to speak to more people, and understanding that analogy that we saw and Steff just talked you through there. So, you know, if I was for myself, if I'm not speaking to enough people, if I'm not taking people around this business cycle, I'm not going to recruit. And I also understand that if I haven't done enough in April and May, that will probably show in June and July. That's not fun. When your mindset's great in June and July, and you're now having to pick up the pieces of what you haven't done a few months previous. And again, being able to have this conversation with somebody new who does want to duplicate, and therefore you'll see even more duplication. I love it. It's so powerful to see somebody that you've introduced to your business start to recruit and their teams start to recruit. To me, that gives me such a buzz, because they're going to progress. They're going to be moving through the marketing plan. And guess what? If you're helping other people to be successful, then you will be too. Helping other people to achieve their goals means that you'll have everything you want. That's really quite incredible, isn't it? So I hope that this morning's helped you. I hope we've managed to share some hints and tips with you. I know it hasn't been too much of a how-to. That wasn't the way this training has been designed or thought out. It was more to just highlight the excitement around recruitment and duplication, and why you may have that as a focus in your business over the next few months. Certainly at a time where we know there are a lot of people out there who need to hear about a business opportunity. They don't know it yet. Like me, I had no idea this way of working even existed. Our job is to just see if people are open to having a look. Right, should we have a look at some questions?
Absolutely, yeah. Do you want to
Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to pick one that talks about rejection. And I will tell you that this is something that I really struggled with in my first few months of business. And I remember crying to my husband about it. It sounds quite dramatic, but I did. I'm super sensitive. I'm a really, really sensitive person. And all I've had to do over the last 6.5 years is just grow a thick skin. You know, I always, the example I give is that Gap, when they send me an email to ask me if I want to have a look at their sale items, aren't offended if I don't go online and have a look and buy anything at that moment. It's just not right for me. I'm not feeling it right now, but another time they might, if they give me a 50% sale email, I might go and have a look. So I learned that in this business, it's just not always the right time for people. And what will give you confidence and what really helps with that rejection is if you just keep going. Because if you just keep going and commit to speaking to enough new people and follow up with people, the fortune really is in the follow-up. You'll then gain the confidence that actually that rejection that you felt previously isn't so bad, because that person could have gone on and joined your team. So I actually pride myself on the number of people that I share the business with, rather than the number of people that I introduce to my business, because the number of people I share the business with is in my control. So yeah, I hope that's answered your question. There's another one there I'm just going to pick up on. How did I recruit 15? Steff, you can answer yours as well. How did we recruit 15 and 11 people? For us, I can speak for us both, we're in communication a lot. We work together really closely. Is that we do commit to speaking to new people all the time. We're always expanding our who do you know list. And you know what I learned from Steff only a couple of weeks ago is that when we were talking about, you know, adding new names to our list and how that looks at this time, which I know there's been another question about that as well. I bet you, and she said to me, Claire, I bet you could expand your who do you know list right now with just sitting down and looking at a memory jogger, or looking at other people that you know and who you know as a result of that person. And do you know what? She was right. I know that a lot of people start and write a who do you know list and they think that's it. We've got to work on that list. We've got to really look at expanding it, thinking of new ways to add people to who do you know list. So some of my new business partners have come from, in fact, the majority are people that I followed up with. A lot of those people are people that have said no to me on numerous occasions over the years. One was 6 years of following up, one was 3, and one was 2 years of following up, keeping a relationship going. making sure that my social media is great. Some of those have been referrals from other people, perhaps that have found themselves in a difficult situation at the moment or are uncertain about their future. They've been referred to me. Somebody found me. Somebody had heard about Forever and rang me and said, I've heard about you. I found that you were local. I saw you had a presence on Facebook. Can we have a chat? I said, yeah. Again, that's just from being consistent over the years. Steff, I don't know about you.
Yeah, I would say with that, I say it goes twofold really. Part of it is having a bit of expectation management, and realistically, you could do everything and be absolutely perfect, for want of a better term, right now with regards to recruitment activity, but you probably won't recruit or get someone to join your team until July. It's not an immediate thing, and I think that's what you will really get there from what Claire's saying, is you have to commit to it. It's a bit like if you had a job working for the county council, generally you work a full month before you get paid, and we don't have an issue with that when we work for somebody else. But I do think sometimes there's a bit of expectation management when we're working with Forever, that, oh, I haven't recruited. It's like, well, how long have you been doing it for? You've got to put the legwork in to get there. And the other tip that I'd say, which I think kind of crosses over a little bit with the cold market to a degree, is do not prejudge the people you're speaking to. I would not sit there, if I'm honest with you. My biggest tip would be, if you're going to speak to people, don't sit with a list and don't make a list of who you're going to contact. That is my biggest tip. Don't make a list. Get your who do you know list, start at the top and work your way down. And don't stop because you see somebody who's the CEO of the big company on a 6-figure salary, or the person that you think can't afford it, or the person that you think's too busy, or the person that you think won't be into it, because it will be those people that you might not have spoken to since school who are actually looking for an opportunity, and who may have been watching you on Facebook. And a bit like Claire said, maybe look as well at building your social media presence. That doesn't mean building a presence with Forever. That just means allowing people to get to know you as a person and develop their knowledge of you, because ultimately they're going to be working with you.
Absolutely. I've got another question here. Do you diarise Forever time in your diary, like a set or rough time each day? So I use a diary religiously. You've heard I've got 3 children. Life is unpredictable. My days are unpredictable. And I am one of those people that will grab 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I do sacrifice quite a lot of time in the evening just because of how I choose to build my business. I choose to have time with the children and work when they sleep, basically. So I do, yes. And I think it is, and it's something I would coach as well. It's important to know what time you have available and already have planned what you're going to do in that time, so that when the time comes, you're not thinking, oh my gosh, I've got half an hour now, what am I going to do? And before you know it, you've scrolled down Facebook and looked on your team page or whatever it is you've done. Already have that planned in. Really use a 7-day plan. I love a 7-day plan because it really helps you to focus on recruitment. Half the sheet's taken up with who you're going to speak to that week, and have it ticked off. It takes minutes to contact someone and ask if they're open to having a look at some information. We've got a question about do you have cold market prospecting tips during this time? Yeah, you know, we're still able to be recommending products, to be showcasing products via product evenings, via experience packs. Referrals for me are the best way from your retailing activity. A lot of people forget that link to recruitment. So when we're fulfilling our retail activity, we can always be asking for referrals, asking if anybody knows anybody that wants to trial the products. To me, that's another name on my who do you know list. That's somebody that it may not be the right time there and then to mention the business opportunity, but that's someone that I can build a relationship with over time. The same with some customer groups as well. I know that lots of the team have had some great ideas with how people can maybe refer people that they know that might be interested in coming and having a look at the products as well. People that I speak to about the business opportunity, or maybe that I'm following up with and it's not right for them, ask for a referral. Do they know anybody? There's groups and things that you can be interacting on Facebook with, any kind of interests and hobbies that you might have, that you can be developing relationships with people in there that might be interested in hearing about a business opportunity. There's lots and lots of ways that we can still be sharing the business.
I know a lot of people, Claire, are asking about how many people we speak to, or how many people should you speak to at the start. It depends how quickly you want to grow your business. And going back to the last slide that Claire said there about, you know, kind of, what was it? Speed is all of the essence. It really is. So I know people when they're nervous, and and I'm sure there's lots of people feeling this way. I still now feel physically sick when I have to contact my new people every day. I do. I can't lie to you and say I don't. I absolutely do. I could genuinely find anything in the world to do rather than do it. But I know I have to, because I want to be a stay-at-home mum and I want my partner to be a stay-at-home dad. So I just have to do it. Now, in terms of how many people should you contact, I would suggest that if you want this to really kind of build for you, I'd be doing 10 new people a day. Now, that might sound overwhelming. I can actually promise you that if you just do one a day, it'll be far more overwhelming, because what you'll find is that by speaking to 10 new people a day, you don't have the time to think about what you're saying. You just have to bash those voice notes or those messages out. You have to just get them out there. You don't have the time to think or sit and reflect, oh, Katie hasn't got back to me and James didn't get back to me. You haven't got the time. You contacted 10 people and then tomorrow you're contacting 10 people. And actually, if you continue that, what you'll find is that you're speaking to 10 new people a day, but you're also following up 10 people a day, because you'll be following up the 10 people that you spoke to 3 days ago. So I would say as many people as possible. If you're sending voice notes, the voice notes that I send is generally 40 to 45 seconds long. So if you think about it, even if I send 10 voice notes out, that's 450 seconds. It's not actually that long, is it?
It isn't, and it's amazing, and it is all detailed in the on page 15 of your First Steps to Manager book. Go and have a look. If it says if you're working at part-time, contact 3 to 5 people a day, full-time 5 to 10 people a day, and you will get to learn your stats. Everyone's statistics are slightly different. I know I can go for a period of time where I think, oh my gosh, no one wants to speak to me, no one's interested, everyone hates what I do. We've all had times like that, but actually they'll come back around and someone will pop through. We've just got to be making sure we're adding names to that funnel, speaking to people, new people all the time, so that people then will drop through. Right, we have been on for 40, nearly 51 minutes. That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming to listen to us. There were some questions, unfortunately, that we didn't have time to answer, so I'm really, really sorry about that. Thanks for joining us this Friday morning. I hope you have a great weekend. Make sure you're planned for the week. Make sure you stand tall and are really proud to share with people what it is that we do, and be helping to show the people within your team the power of duplication, and how, by sharing the business opportunity with people, they can achieve what they set out to as well. Take care. Speak to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.